Woo-bin and Yuna were the first to enter Minsu's hospital room to see the baby. Woo-bin stepped closer to observe the newborn, then turned to Sonjin and commented that the baby had inherited his Asian eyes. With a light-hearted tone, he added that he'd better start preparing the wedding dowry and make sure to betroth the baby girl to his future son. The room burst into laughter at his remark. However, Minsu quickly pointed out that it wouldn't be possible, as she and Yuna had a son together, meaning the children would be practically related by blood. Yuna, clearly uncomfortable with the conversation, corrected Minsu and stated that they wouldn't be having any son. Wanting to change the subject, she asked to hold the baby. Minsu gently handed her the newborn, and Yuna cradled her softly in her arms. She studied the baby's delicate features and smiled, remarking on how beautiful she was. Woo-bin moved closer to her, standing by her side as they both gazed down at the infant. Curious, he turned to Sonjin and asked if the baby had been named yet. Sonjin looked uncertain and glanced at Minsu. Minsu smiled and reminded him that he had once said, if the baby were a girl, he wanted her to be named Minji. Hearing that, Sonjin smiled and asked Minsu if she was truly okay with the name. She nodded, saying it was a beautiful choice. Woo-bin then looked tenderly at the baby and introduced himself as her uncle. He promised that in the future, if she ever faced any troubles, she should always come to him. Minsu and Sonjin watched Woo-bin and Yuna standing side by side, quietly admiring the baby together. Minsu remarked how they looked as if the baby were theirs, and added that Woo-bin should hurry up and marry Yuna so they could start their own family. At that moment, Woo-bin glanced at Yuna, and she looked back at him. Their eyes met. Yuna felt her heart skip a beat. She knew she was supposed to be mad at him, upset over everything he had done. Yet despite everything, he still made her heart flutter. Seeing how gentle and caring he was with the baby only deepened her feelings, even though she felt foolish for still having them, for still feeling this way about someone who didn't seem to value her. Quickly breaking the gaze, she turned back to Minsu and stated that there would be no wedding. She added that Woo-bin had found himself a beautiful Norwegian girl. Her words visibly unsettled Woo-bin. He immediately denied it, saying that the woman was not his. Yuna, clearly hurt, replied that it certainly seemed like it to her, even pointing out how their hair colors matched. Before the tension escalated further, Sonjin stood up and interrupted them, reminding them not to argue in front of his baby. He took the infant gently from Yuna's arms and looked at her, trying to make her understand Woo-bin's point of view. Yuna, feeling even more misunderstood, accused him of taking Woo-bin's side simply because they were best friends. Then, without another word, she turned and stormed out of the room. Woo-bin, clearly frustrated, said he would go talk to her. Before leaving, he mentioned that he would call in Sonjin's and Minsu's parents so they could come in and meet the baby as well.